One thing I never really understood is the point of running a wildcat. It can be effective in college from time to time, but in the NFL, it almost never works. And so when I saw Sean Payton let Taysom Hill get some snaps, it made absolutely no sense to me. You have the most accurate quarterback to ever play the game, and yet for some reason, you're going to have right-handed Tim Tebow take snaps away from him. However, to my surprise, it started working. The 38 times Taysom Hill has taken a direct snap this season, they've gained on average 6.3 yards per play. Throughout the whole season, the Saints average 6.4 yards per play. But it kind of left me scratching my head. I mean, how does that work? Some guy on a special teams unit is doing just as good of a job running the Saints offense as a Hall of Famer? How does that make any sense? Well, let me break things down with this play. I figured since the focus of this video is on a Saint, many Saints fans are going to be watching this video, so I decided to pander to my audience a bit and show a couple of plays where the Saints got the better of the Falcons. This play is a good example. It's a read option play, meaning Hill can give the ball to Kamara or keep the ball and run it himself. On this play, Ryan Ramczyk is going to move up, which is going to allow Vic Beasley to go unblocked. The real player to keep an eye on in this play is Duke Riley. He has two options. He can move up to guard Kamara, or he can run to the outside to try to contain Hill. As you see here, he moves forward, allowing Ramczyk to take him out of the play. Because he does that, Taysom Hill is going to keep the ball himself. However, in order for this play to work, he's going to have to get past Vic Beasley. But he trusts himself to do that, and he's able to make a move, get past Beasley, and run for a big gain. Anytime you only have to make one man miss to get a first down, it's a pretty good play. Typically, you don't want that to be behind the line of scrimmage. However, with Taysom Hill's ability to get past guys, it works out well for New Orleans. One thing worth mentioning on that play is it was a 3rd down and 2 with only 12 minutes left and the Saints down 6. You would think you'd want the most accurate passer in NFL history in the game at that point. However, it's actually the perfect time to use Taysom Hill. I'll use this play as another example. It's later in that same game, and now there's only 2 minutes left. Once again, in a big spot, Taysom Hill is in the game. Once again, it's a read option. And now the guy to look at is Ricardo Allen. Allen can do two things on this play. He can step up to try to guard Kamara, or he can run out to try to stop Hill. As you see, he steps up to guard Kamara, and Hill's going to try to take it to the outside. One thing to watch on this play is Vic Beasley, who's the defensive lineman closest to the bottom of the screen, who's going to do a great job of shedding a block and getting a hand on Hill. Hill would have had a much easier time getting to the line of scrimmage. However, because of that, it allows Allen back into play. But again, that's what makes Taysom Hill so valuable. Typically, this is a play that works about 90% of the time. The 10% it doesn't is when someone makes a play like Beasley made. However, Hill's so strong and so quick, he's able to still get a first down even when Beasley makes that kind of play. It turns a high percentage play into a near impossible play to stop. That's the benefit of Taysom Hill. Over the course of a game, having Drew Brees take the snaps is going to gain you more yards. However, in select plays when you only need a certain amount of yards, Taysom Hill can actually be the better option. However, then the argument could be made, when opposing teams see the Saints put Taysom Hill in the game, why don't they just go all out to stop the run? And the reason for that is because Taysom Hill still can throw the football. Look at this play for example. Philadelphia is running a cover 2 zone. Zone coverage seems like the perfect way to beat Taysom Hill, because no matter what he tries to do, there's always going to be someone in the area, and they're clearly expecting a run. As you see, all 3 of their linebackers are very close to the middle of the field. This now makes things pretty easy for Taysom Hill. All he has to do is throw a quick screen pass to Josh Hill. Malcolm Jenkins now has a long way to go to make a tackle on Josh Hill. Jenkins can't make the tackle, and Saints are able to get the first down. If you go all out to stop Taysom Hill running the ball, it now makes things easier for him to pass the ball. And while sure, it was Josh Hill that made the play, it was an easier play for Josh Hill to make because Taysom Hill was in the game. Let's get into one more play. On this play, they're going to pull Josh Hill over and run a read option with Kamara. So much like we've seen before, there's one guy to keep an eye on. And on this play, it's Foye Oluokun. As you would think, he's going to either run to Kamara or sprint to the outside. However, the Falcons are ready for this. Atlanta's already gotten burned by Taysom Hill, and they're determined to not let it happen again. They're going to have Damontae Kazee run to the outside. You're also going to see Oluokun run as if he's going forward, but at the last second, break to the outside. They're now going to have multiple men out there to guard Hill. However, despite all that, sometimes talent just wins out. Hill has great footwork and great acceleration, and he just cuts in and runs by Oluokun. Atlanta drew up a play to stop this exact play. They called it at the perfect spot, and they still weren't able to stop Taysom Hill. That just goes to show how effective he can really be.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows. Football, tennis, hockey, golf. The game is starting, everyone is here. I got my snacks, my friends, and a beer.